Time to have a look at On Trial here on Trots TV. We're going to go back through the trials for the week and see if we can find out some standout performances. And we're going to start with the trials at Newcastle back on September 9 and the performance in trial number 1 of Gaius Caesar. Now, Gaius Caesar recently claimed by the Shane Tritton stable from Darren Binskin, and he did race on Tuesday at Menangle and was forced to chase home a very slick speed when we saw I Mr Brightside record a very fast time. If Shane can rejuvenate this horse, I think he's going to be in for a very competitive campaign, especially back at Metropolitan level when they get him into a drop-back race. Found the top early on in the trial, just kept on grinding away to record a mile rate of 156.5. He charged home in 55.9, 28.6. It's really hard to imagine him re-establishing himself at that top level in Sydney, although I did notice Shane put in a nomination for the Inter-Dominion in Perth. Just keep an eye on him. I think he's actually well suited in the Tritton stable. The stable's notorious for driving their horses aggressively, and that might mean Gaius Caesar finds the front on a few occasions. If that's the case, he's going to be very hard to beat. So despite the defeat on Tuesday, I think we can follow Gaius Caesar with a little bit of confidence, especially in some weaker races. Let's turn our attention to Penrith on Wednesday the 9th of September as well. We're going to have a look at trial number 4 and the winner here of Just Pit Boss. Now, I think his performance was solid. He does look set to break his maiden, or his maiden status here in Australia. He has won a race in New Zealand, but has only been placed here on this side of the Tasman. He was driven aggressively in the trial. He was able to find the top. And what I do like about the trial was the way he hit the line. He ran up the straight really strongly. He seems to be travelling very comfortably for driver Jim Douglas, and his mile rate for the short trip at Penrith was 2 minutes and 2/10, with his last half in 58.9, home in 29.2. He doesn't look to be a real pacey type. He looks tougher than he is fast, which is going to leave him vulnerable once he does get up in grade, but he should be able to bully his way to a couple of victories in the low-level races. So in the 4th trial at Penrith on Wednesday the 9th of September, we're going to go with Just Pit Boss. One more trialer for today on trial, and we're going to go to the Wagga trial on Friday the 11th of September. They just had the one trial, so let's have a look at this performance of I'm Johnny Jet. Former Kiwi, has always shown ability. He looks set to dominate a few low-graded events in the short term for Phil and Reece Maguire. The 4-year-old has had 7 starts here in Australia, hasn't finished further back than second. He hasn't raced since the middle of July, and his performance at the trial suggests that he's not far away from making a comeback. The times tell the story. He ran 2 minutes and 5/10 for the short trip, but he could have gone quicker had he been challenged in the last lap of the race. He ran his last half in 58.9, ran up the straight in 29.3, but was under a really solid hold in the final 50 metres. So the 3 horses that go on trial this week, we've got Gaius Caesar. Although he has raced since this trial, I think we can follow him with some confidence. Just Pit Boss, he's going to win a race very, very soon. And also the performance of I'm Johnny Jet, I thought was very good at Wagga. That's on trial this week here on Trots TV.